Let's talk about my 2025 spring knitting plans. Hello everyone, Rochelle here, and I'm back to share some yarn goodness with you all today. Okay, so let's jump right into a few things that I want to knit for this upcoming spring. All right, so the first one is the Farnham tee, and it is designed by the Knit Pearl Girl. So this pattern is a paid pattern, and for the yarn weight, you can either use 2 strands of fingering weight yarn, or you can use 1 strand of DK weight yarn. And the bust circumference ranges between 29.5 all the way up to 57 inches. And that's between 75 to 145 centimeters. And so the needle size that it calls for is between you'll need 2. You'll need a US 4, which is a 3.5 millimeter. And also you will need a US 7, which is a 4.5 millimeter. And I did want to say something about the bust circumference. I would prefer for it to go up to at least 60 inches, but you might want to consider ease as well. I know for myself, like a lot of these patterns, they call for, 8+ inches of ease, but I personally don't want that. I personally would rather have more like 4 inches of ease. So definitely, take a look at this pattern, compare your bust size and the ease, and it might just work out for you. But anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. So the yarn that I am going to use is Drops Charisma, and so this is a DK weight yarn, and it is a 100% superwash wool yarn, and it is color number 76, which is deep purple, and so it is beautiful. And I've had this yarn for quite a while. I've been trying to figure out like what's the perfect pattern for this. And so I think I have found it, but it is going to be beautiful in this color. And so basically this tee, it is an oversized drop shoulder, and it has stripes and a half twisted rib. And so I've never done a half twisted rib before, so this is going to be a new skill for me to learn, and I'm very excited about it. So in the photo, like the sample photo shows the t-shirt with stripes. Now I don't really wear stripes, and so I'm going to be making mine in a solid color. And so I was checking the Ravelry listing and looking at the projects, and I did find one person who had made theirs in a solid color. So I really liked how theirs looked, and I think it's so important that when you're looking on Ravelry, don't just look at the designer samples. Go and check out the projects that were made by fellow knitters, because I feel like you'll get more of an idea of how the pattern is going to fit you. Okay, so also it is knit top down. Love that. It's great for trying on as you go, which is very important to me. And so yeah, I'm excited to use this. And of course, you all know I love my purple. Okay, also, if you have used Drops Charisma, let me know. Let me know your experience with it, because this will be my first time using this yarn. In fact, all of the yarns that I'm going to be sharing with you all today are brand new yarns to me. I've never used them before, and so feel free to chime in and let me know if you have used them and what your experience, what your experience was with these yarns. Okay, so the next project that we have is the Anisi tee, and it is designed by Anne Fuskin-Sun, better known as November Knits. And so this is a paid pattern, and it calls for DK weight yarn. So the bust circumference for this pattern ranges between 40 to 61 inches, and in centimeters, that is 101 to 156. So the needle sizes that you will need for this one is a US 4, which is a 3.5 millimeter, and also a US 6, which is a 4 millimeter. Now, of course, your needle size, it's going to vary with your tension and with your gauge. So those are just the knitting needle sizes that the pattern calls for. Let me show you all the yarn that I'm going to be using. Check this out. This is Hayden Valley DK. This is Haydenville DK by Valley Yarns. And so this is a Webs exclusive yarn. And it is 60% superwash merino wool and 40% acrylic microfiber. And so each little ball is 50 grams, 136 yards. And this is the color gray, which is number 6. And so it is a beautiful yarn. I don't typically wear gray, but it's something about this charcoal gray that I really like and I really want to try. I think I'm really going to enjoy it, and it is beautiful. It has kind of a shine to it, but like a very subtle type of shine, and it is very, very soft. So I feel like I'm going to enjoy this yarn. And yeah, so this tee, it is worked top down, and it does feature raglan increases. And so basically this is just how you would go about making the t-shirt. So you're going to work short rows. That's going to shape the back of the neckline. And then you're going to work the body in a stockinette stitch. And then there's a beautiful rib finishing that you do on the hem and the cuff. So it's beautiful. I am very excited about this. I like the way the raglan looks. It seems like it's a very deep raglan, which is fine with me. And yeah, I think it's going to fit really nice. I don't really like a lot of fitted type of clothing. I prefer to have, like, I don't want it to be oversized, but you know, kind of between 2 to 4 inches of positive ease is what I'm looking for. And I feel like I'm going to get it with this t-shirt. So I'm very, very excited about it. And also, I will leave links to all of the patterns that I talk about today in the description box below. So definitely take a look at that. And so, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And, you know, I'm undecided as to how this gray is going to look. But, you know, I won't know unless I try, right? So, you know, here's to trying new colors. Okay, so I did want to share with you all what I am wearing. I absolutely love this t-shirt. And this is the Seven Sisters top that was designed by Sloan Lacasse of Blue Sky Fibers, or she designed it rather for Blue Sky Fibers. And so I have done an entire video about this shirt, and so if you want to know more about it, I will leave the link below, and I'll leave my Ravelry below as well. And yeah, and you can find out about the yarn that I used, but it is a beautiful yarn. It drapes really well. I really enjoyed this pattern, and I do believe like the construction of this shirt was like no other I've ever done, and it looks so effortless. But you know, I put quite a lot of work into this one. When I bought the pattern and I was reading through it, I was like, wow, this construction is different, and it turned out great. I really like it. Yeah, it's really cool. So check that video out if you are interested. Okay, so let's go to my next spring project, and it is the Adult Playdate Tee, and it is designed by Kelly Reedy of Needles and Love. Y'all know how I am with names. Y'all already know. So this is a paid pattern, and it calls for DK weight yarn. And I think DK weight yarn is really good for spring. You know, it's kind of something that's not going to have you really hot, but at the same time, you know, you'll be warm as well. So I don't know. I really like DK weight yarn for spring garments. So the bust circumference ranges between 30 inches to 62 inches. And in centimeters, that is 76 to 158. And so this one also calls for 2 knitting needle sizes, and that is the US 4, which is the 3.5 millimeter, and the US 6, which is the 4 millimeter. And so let's talk about the yarn that I want to use for this project. So this is Valley Superwash DK. And it is 100% extra fine superwash merino wool, and each little donut is 50 grams or 137 yards. And so I'm not sure if I mentioned what the charisma was, but it is also a 50-gram ball as well. And so yeah, this yarn, it's really plump. Like, this is a really, really plump DK yarn. I wouldn't say it's quite light worsted, But it is, yeah, it's a chunky DK, and I like it. It's really, really squishy. Yeah, this is a fun yarn. Very soft yarn. I keep petting it. But yeah, really nice. And once again, let me know if you've ever ordered from Webs, or if you ever used any Webs yarn. I would really love to know. I like buying yarn from there. I've never really had an issue or anything like that. So a little bit more about this pattern. It is a top-down raglan, and here's how it goes. So you start by knitting the collar ribbing, and then you will knit the neckline with short rows. And of course, that is also going to lead into your raglan increases. And so after you finish the yoke, you'll separate for the sleeves and knit the body in a stockinette stitch. So it's pretty straightforward. And of course, the sleeves are knitted last, and you will knit in a 1x1 rib for the neckline, the bottom hem, the cuffs. You'll do a nice 1x1 ribbing for that. And so, of course, you can always change it up if you want to. And the great thing about this pattern is that not only does it have instructions for a short sleeve, but it also has instructions for a long sleeve. So you're kind of getting two patterns in one, and I really like when designers do that. Okay, so let me put this away. I don't want to put it down. I wanted to share with you all a finished knitting project. And it is the Bandana Cowl number 4. And it is designed by Cleo Malone. And so here it is. And so this is a free pattern. And I know it's difficult to see because it's black. But I will insert a clip of me wearing this after I've talked a little bit more about it. But anyway, this is beautiful. It's a very simple type of construction, and it doesn't take very long to make. And so it comes in one size, and that is 14.5 inches or 37 centimeters around the neck, and 26 inches or 66 centimeters around the base here. And also it's about 7 inches or 18 centimeters tall. So that's from bottom to the bottom tip, top from the bottom tip. The yarn that I used was Yarn Bee Must Be Merino. It's a DK weight yarn, and it is in the color black. So the fiber content is 50% merino wool and 25% acrylic and 25% nylon. But unfortunately, this yarn is discontinued. I'm happy that I was able to use it while it was in production, but it is no more, unfortunately. And so it's so frustrating when like one of your favorite yarns or any sort of yarn goes, it's just discontinued. Yeah, I don't even know how to say it. It's so awful. It's like you find a yarn that you like and then it's discontinued. But I don't know. I guess that's just how yarn business works. Yeah, I'm no expert. With this pattern, it has this beautiful 1x1 rib, and then it flares out, and then it has this lovely point. And so what I like about this is that it will keep your chest warm. And I've actually turned it around to the back and have worn it backwards because like the top of my neck gets cold sometimes. It's really weird. But let's see if you can see these wonderful increases going down the middle. Let me put my hand in there. Maybe you can see it a little bit better. But yeah, it has these lovely increases. They look like raglan increases, and I really like that. But it's very simple. The only techniques you'll need to know how to do is knit, purl, knit front and back, and do a 1x1 rib. Very simple. And I used US 7 4.5 millimeter Chiaogu needles, and my Chiaogu needles have a 5-inch or 13 centimeter tip on them, and I used a 14-inch or a 36 centimeter cord. So that was nice. Now, one change that I did make is that I bound off with a different knitting needle size than was mentioned in the pattern, because I wanted to make sure that it was going to be stretchy at the bottom. So I did go up to a US 9 or 5.5 millimeter knitting needle for that. And also another thing with this cowl, the cast on method isn't specified. You get to kind of choose what you want to do. So I decided to go with a German twisted cast on because I wanted to make sure that it was going to be extra stretchy. And so the German twisted cast on is a lot like the long tail cast on. You're just adding an extra loop there. And so it gives it a little bit more stretch. And I really like the German twisted cast on. Okay, let's see. Is there anything else? Oh, yes. So I did block this, of course. And I just wet blocked it by soaking it in water. Then I towel dried it and laid it on a blocking mat to dry. Then I pinned it on my blocking mat. And y'all, the blocking really helped open up those one by one stitches in the ribbing, and also that center increase. It really helped bring that out as well. And it almost looks like a lacy sort of detail now going down the middle because of the blocking. And so I really like that. And yeah, I would definitely recommend it. As I mentioned, it is a free pattern. So if you're someone that would love to make this, of course, I will leave the description, or I will leave the pattern in the description box below. And yeah, I really wanted to make this because one day it was super cold and I was going to wear a black knitted hat, and I wanted to match with a black knitted cowl. And it hit me like I don't have a simple black cowl. But like of all the things that I've made, I haven't made a simple black cowl. So that's how I decided to go ahead and make this. And I'm so glad that I did. I really, really am. And yeah, there it is. Pretty cool. When I make this again, because I feel like I will, I definitely want to cast on more stitches at the neckline because it does fit. It's just, even after doing a stretchier cast on, let me see. Let's see here. It's not super snug. Actually, this is good. I feel like it's relaxed since the last time I've worn it, actually. Yeah. Look at that. No, that fits great. That is so weird. So I've only worn this out once since I finished it, and it was a little snug. But now, I don't know, I guess I stretched it out a little bit while I was wearing it last time. But yeah, never mind. This fits great. I like how this fits. So yeah. And even like when I blocked it, I think I gained like a ½ inch or 1.3 centimeters after blocking. And so the final measurement for mine was 12.5 inches or 32 centimeters at the longest point. And my neck circumference after blocking was 12 inches or 30 centimeters. So yeah, this is nice. Yeah, I have enough room here. And so I'm really excited to wear this. The weather here in Eastern North Carolina has just been up and down. It's been crazy. Monday, it was like 70 degrees. Tuesday, it was 80 degrees. And then Wednesday, it dropped down into like the 50s. And that's the type of weather that gets you sick. I'm telling you, this North Carolina weather is nothing to play with, and you need to be prepared to dress any sort of way, anytime. It can change from morning to afternoon. Yeah, let me know if your weather is like that, because it's definitely like that here. So yeah, I would definitely make this again, and I think it is a beautiful, beautiful cowl. Let me know what your plans are for spring knitting. I would love to know. Definitely leave me a comment and share with the class. I'm always looking for new patterns to make. And also, I knit and I crochet. And so I just uploaded a crochet version of this video, and where I'm talking about the things I want to crochet for the spring. So definitely check that out. Or if you're just interested in both crafts, go take a look at it. And yeah, let me know if you have made any of the patterns that I talked about today, or if you want to, and you know, just let me know. And yeah, I've really been enjoying planning my projects out like 3 months at a time. You know, I feel like it's more reasonable. And also I do have a new test knit coming up. And so I like to kind of keep my plans small so that I can make room for test knits. And right now I'm just waiting on some yarn to come in. Let's see, I checked this morning and it's getting closer and closer. So I'm hoping to have some yarn coming in maybe by this weekend. We'll see. I'm hoping. But yeah, and so I do enjoy test knitting or pattern testing. And so I try to keep that in mind, you know, when figuring out what I want to do each season. And by breaking it down in seasons, I feel like I've been quite successful with not overwhelming myself and actually making the projects that I plan out. I would say, let's see, I know with the fall plans, I think I had maybe like 5 fall plans, and I ended up with, well, I ended up making 3. I'm actually working on the 3rd one right now. So 3 out of 5 isn't bad. It isn't bad. And so, yeah. Let me know how you like to plan your projects. Do you like to plan for the whole year? I am doing a bingo this year. And so, yeah, I've got to update my bingo card. In fact, I think I'm going to put it on the screen of the things that I've done so far. And so that's been really nice. I haven't gotten bingo yet, but this cowl was one of the goals that I had on my bingo card. And that was to knit or crochet something in black. So yeah, let's see, people do make 9, bingo. Some people like plan for the whole year. And then some people are like, look, there's too much going on for me to be planning even like a month out. Whenever the inspiration hits me, it hits me and I make whatever. So let me know if you are that type of person. All right, y'all. Let me know what you worked on while watching, or did you just chill? I love reading you all's comments, and thank you for liking and subscribing and hitting that notification bell. And also thank you so much for watching to the end. That is just so wonderful. And if you would like a bonus monthly video on my channel, click that join button below. Alrighty, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. And yeah, until next time, bye.